Gridiron fanatics out there. Glad you could join us here once again for the off-season edition of Gridiron Gab Pro Style. Where we gab about all things pro football, from the scoops of the regular season to the scores of the postseason and the picks in the off-season. Let's start gabbing.
The autumn winds move like the thunderous waves of Neptune's sacred palace. And here, amongst the blackened soil, lies the ragged hands, worn, torn, and callous. They await with cunning and vicious prowess, for the warriors have returned.
Come on, Dutch! Don't do it! Woo! No way! Woo! 85! Crying out loud! You're making me, you're driving me nuts!
But behold,
Welcome back, you guys. Thank you for joining us again on our 32-part off-season edition of Gridiron Gab Pro Style. I am, of course, your host, Mr. CeeLo. Before we get going, I want to give a shout out to my man Shandog 555 for commenting on the show on YouTube. Thank you so much, guys. I just have to let you know my throat is still bothering me. These allergies are kicking my bazooka. As well as I want to give a huge shout out. I want to give a huge shout out to Calvin. I hope I said that correctly. Who subscribed to the channel, you guys. Thank you so much. Y'all welcome him with open arms. I also want to give another shout out to Ed, and give a shout out to Patrick, whom commented on previous shows. And guys, as long as you do this, I will gladly shout you out. I love when our fans get involved. I mean, that's what the point of this is. But anyway, the show today is about the Los Angeles Chargers. Probably the one team that is not looking forward to the free agent market. Reason being is right now they're the AFC version of the New Orleans Saints. Yeah. They, even with the cap increase, guys, they are still projected to be over $22 million over the cap. So they've got some changes to make, considering this was a football team. And I'm not trying to throw stones, people, but a team that won 5 games. And you got guys like, and this is where we have an issue. And this is where Harbaugh and the new staff have to cut heads. And I'm just trying to be honest with you. You got Bosa slated to make 36.5, and you got Mike Williams making 32.4, as well as Keenan Allen making 34.7, and these guys can't stay on the field the full season.
What the?
And you basically got 3 guys that are making $2 million a football game, and they can't even make it. I don't care what you're basically paying these guys an average $4 and $5 million a game, because they don't make it a full season. Now, there's a lot of people that's going to have a problem with what I just said, but the reality of it is, if you're a loyal franchise and you got a guy that is out there just not on the field, you got to take care of us at some point. You're going to have to go to these 2 guys and say, hey, look, we got guys like Rashawn Slater who haven't even been paid yet. They haven't even been paid yet. And he's got to get paid. Justin Herbert's contract don't kick in until next year, really. Now, with that being said, they're going to have to make some alterations to this, because they got to clear at least an estimated $9 to $11 million for their rookies. And that's if they don't trade up. Now, I don't project them to trade up, because here's what they have. They have the fifth pick in the first round, 37th. They've got all their picks. They just get an extra 7th round pick, which means they could have 4 picks inside the top 105 best players. Now, My projection is I'm not even looking at free agency. Now, we can look and see what they're losing on the backside of their free agents, because the reality of it is they're losing some pretty good players. And honestly, they'd have $20 million if they hadn't signed J.C. Jackson to that huge deal, and he just walked away. So, but I mean, I understand you have to make jumps, and they did. They took a leap of faith, and it just didn't work out. I thought that was just a huge leap of faith. And of course, you know, when the Patriots come calling back, guess what? You still gonna have to eat a large part of that. But let's take a look at the free agents that they have. Looking down here, Cameron Dicker, he's a free agent. That's a 24-year-old kicker who's pretty reliable. And you don't have him, and you don't have space to get him. What are you going to do, take one in the draft? That's the only thing I can figure. Joshua Kelly's going to be a guy you can't re-sign. I'm not saying he's worth a lot, but you're not going to be able to get him. Yeah, Alex Erickson's another one that you're not going to be able to get. You're going to lose Gerald Everett, who was a big, big, big contributor. And, of course, then there's, Austin Eckler. And as I said, with Jim Harbaugh walking through the door, I'm pretty sure that's where he's going to go. He's going to go with taking another running back, probably two in the draft. So it would not shock me if Harbaugh went third, possibly fourth round, getting another tailback. And possibly fifth round. You never know. But you're talking about Eckler being gone, Austin Johnson, the defensive tackle, more than likely not going to be able to sign him back. And see, Johnson's numbers, while they don't jump out at you, he played such a huge part in the run game. You know, he amongst his teammates, he led the team in tackles on that defensive tackle front. Matter of fact, amongst that defensive line, period, he led the team in tackles. That's huge for a team that was bad against the run already. And you're talking about a guy already that has made that kind of impression, and you're going to lose him, and he'll be 30 years old by the turn of the season. He's not a young guy, but he's still young relatively to the position. And honestly, you have to get something for this guy. If you don't do nothing but sign him and get a pick, but you're not going to be able to do that because you're going to have to eat the back end of it. But this roster is just a mess right now. And as I said before, you have a lot of money geared up towards you're so top heavy. I mean, Harbaugh's going to have to call guys like Khalil Mack and especially Joey Bosa and Mike Williams. Y'all cost too much damn money to be sitting on the bench half the season. Just saying. I'm sorry. If there's Charger fans out there that don't agree with what I got to say, that's you want to keep having 5-win seasons? I mean, that's just the reality of it. And the only way you're going to be able to fix this, and it's not just through the draft, you can anticipate being a team that scores the football, because this is where Justin Herbert's going to have to earn his paycheck. He's not going to be the highest paid guy on this roster, I think, until the year after. Because you still got, now Khalil Mack will be gone, or he'll be a free agent, and possibly Bosa will be. Bosa's going to get back some of that. I'm just saying, till he plays a full season, nah. No. I don't give a damn I don't care how hard you play. You gotta stay on the field, bro. I can't pay you for 5. I can't pay you 17 games for 5. Can't do it, bro. I gotta keep you on the field. I will say this. Maybe, just maybe, if these free agents believe in him, I can tell you at least 2 or 3 guys they could re-sign with a little bit of manipulation that would be great fits if they were to draft a cornerback. I'll tell you a guy right here, Troy Hill. I love Troy Hill in Charlotte. Many of you know I'm a Carolina Panther fan. Troy Hill was amazing. He's a very good tackler. Definitely not afraid to stick his nose in there and make the plays. Shaquille Griffin. He's still a top-notch guy. But if you got him covering your number 2 or the slot, that's your guy. Same thing with Troy Hill. That's your guy. You got to sign Samuel. You don't need to go out there and get a top-notch corner. That's what I didn't understand about the whole J.C. Jackson move. I mean, I get it, but you could have spent the money more efficiently there. Hey, I understand why Staley's out of there. But looking at the other needs, which is going to be running back, I furthermore don't see Harbaugh drafting anybody but Blake Corum. I'm just going to be honest. Blake Corum is the guy that he is going to take with that third pick. Now, I know a lot of people are going to look at me and say, well, why would he not put feelings aside and say, hey, look, if Jonathan Brooks is there, why would he not take him? Well, because guess what? He knows Corum. He knows what he has. He knows what he can get. And here's the hard truth about that. Jonathan Brooks is a beast. He is an Austin Eckler-ish type running back. However, we did see Bijan Robinson have a successful season. However, he tailed off at the end of the season. You don't want to go, which we probably see Brooks go number 2. I would say he would probably go in the second round. Now, a lot of people are speculating he could go number 1 in the first round. I don't see that happening. I don't see anybody that's so running back heavy that way would do that. I mean, it would not it would not shock me if the New York Giants did it. But we'll talk about that in the next show. Jonathan Brooks carries a lot of opportunity, but I don't think Harbaugh will take a high first and possibly his second and third pick to take these two guys. Because I truly believe these Brooks will be gone before the 60th pick, as the PFF ranks him number 60. I think somebody snatches him up either late first round, early second. And then you got Blake Corum. Blake Corum is possibly going to be low second. I would say low third, early fourth. So you could get him. So you could possibly, and see with Harbaugh being who he is, he'll probably jump the gun and take Corum in the third round. Now, this is where the dilemma comes into play, because not only do the Chargers need help at the running back position, they need help at the defensive tackle position. So here's where you have to be careful, because not only are you trying to draft guys that you like, but you also need to draft guys that your team needs. So when you start thinking about interior defensive players, see, we could say take a corner in the draft, and I disagree when people say that they need a corner. You could get a corner out of free agency. I think, now this is just me, as I said in the previous show about the Arizona Cardinals, if they do not take Byron Murphy, I'm trading down. Because here's the reality. He's the best tackle in the class. By far. There's not a better tackle out there. But see, this would be a cat and mouse game between me and the Cardinals. Because if the Cardinals trade down, and I would look for a trade partner. If the Cardinals don't snatch Byron Murphy up and they snatch up Marvin Harrison Jr., what I'm doing, if I am the Los Angeles Chargers, I'm going to slide down just enough. See if I can get a partner that slides down just above where the Cardinals are, and I'm snatching him up. Maybe I can get an extra pick there. Maybe somebody wants to move up to take, if one of the 3 quarterbacks is gone, maybe somebody wants to take the quarterback out of Washington, Michael Penix, early. Or maybe somebody wants to take Joe Alt before he's off the board. Because really, the Chargers don't necessarily need a line. They need edge help. They basically, everything is defense except for the running back and tight end position. And honestly, a lot of people will say, well, take Brock Bowers. Take Brock Bowers. Your offense ain't the problem. You got Quentin Johnston, Mike Williams, Keenan Allen. Stop worrying about the offense. You got to stop somebody. And Byron Murphy would be able to anchor what you got left. Then you can get Joey Bosa's can't stay healthy behind contract down because he can't stay on the field. And then you'll have somebody that 17 sack Khalil Mack can go with when Bosa ain't out there. And then you could sneak up in the second round, and this is just my perception on this, and you could take your cornerback in the second round. I think Cooper Jean will be gone. Cooper DeJean, Nate Wiggins, Kenyon Mitchell, Terrion Arnold, Kool-Aid McKinstry. Now, here's the kick. Here's the kicker. Enos Rexstraw Jr. could be there. Now, this is what I like. Now, TJ Tampa's a guy that's interesting as well. He could very well be the guy you're looking for. Another guy that's long and lanky that goes on the opposite side of Asante Samuel Jr. So you got two physical defensive backs on the opposite side. And you've gotten your beast in the middle. Well, you still come up with your third pick, which is actually pretty good. So you could actually still get your tight end. Now, I'm just going to be honest with you. The tight end is not as deep, and a lot of people are going to say, well, how about we just get a defensive tackle, trade up? If you can trade down and get some extra capital, that would be great. But see, I haven't projected, I don't do those projections because I wouldn't know who would make that kind of move. So that's kind of a tough look there. But as I said, the tight end is not nearly as deep as it's been in the past. Jadavian Sanders is an impressive specimen to me. He's 6'4", 243 and runs pretty well. You know, he and Brock Bowers are, Bowers is lanky. He's deceptively a big guy. Ben Sinnott is not a guy that I'm hugely a fan of. Mostly outside of Cade Stover, it's just kind of like, yeah. I like Theo Johnson because of his size. But Dalen Holker, I really watched him in that Colorado game. I really didn't watch a lot of tape on him, but I remember watching how effective he was in that game against Colorado. And I will say that I believe a sleeper is going to be Jaheim Bell. You know, they got him PFF ranked 169. The only thing I have a problem with is his height. He's 6'3", 239. Not the ideal height you want from a tight end. But A.J. Barner could be a guy. We already looking here. And this is where I think they're going to go. They'll probably steal him in the 5th or 6th round. Why? Because he's Jim Harbaugh's boy. They'll take Corum in the 4th round. And they'll take A.J. Barner more than likely in the 5th round. 5th or 6th, however they can get him. But looking here and you're thinking about what can make this team better. What can make this team better is going to be getting this salary cap situation worked out. We already know that you'll hopefully be getting Keenan Allen and Mike Williams back. I say make sure you get your running back. We already feel like it's going to be Blake Corum and possibly a tight end, which, like I said, just sitting there thinking about it right now, I mean, it makes perfect sense that they'll take A.J. Barner. You know, Harbaugh knows him. Harbaugh knows them. You know, they know what they expect. As I said, I believe they're going to come in. They're going to reconstruct some things, especially on that defense. And it's possible Bosa could be gone within a couple of years. I mean, people like his grit, but the one thing about it, he can't stay on the field. I'm sorry, Charger fans, but he got to stay on the field. But having said that, you guys, that's going to wrap us up for the Los Angeles Chargers, led by Jim Harbaugh. Let me know what you guys think about the Chargers off-season 1.0. Hit me up at Facebook of the same name, Gridiron Gab Pro Style. Let me know what you think. Also, go to my Instagram at Mr. CeeLo, and you can check out the other things that I'm involved in. And finally, also, go down and comment and like the show, you guys. I know a lot of you guys are starting to watch. You guys are out of football. You guys are greedy and hungry for it right now, wanting to see what these teams are going to do, just like I am. But make sure you leave me a shout out, and I'll leave you one back. But until the next time, you guys, same Gap channel, same Gap platform.
But behold, there is a warm breeze that comes from the west. The blazing sounds of victory fuel their everlasting quest. It is a call to arms, for they are here. An army that has the will to challenge and the